All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. I pray the Lord have peace, blessings, and mercy upon the households of the hopeful elect. This is the brother Shema One from the Great Millstone Houston Church. Matter of fact, Salaki, mentioning double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I also want to mention their elders, the men that taught them as well. So with that being said, this is the brother Shema One from the Great Millstone Houston Church. And today I want to go into Revelations chapter 6 and verse 8, primarily because it focuses on the fourth part of the earth that's going to get touched by what Apostle John the Revelator goes into about that pale horse and what it represents. But that's talking about coming here to the fourth part of the earth, which is America. You know, and this stems from one of the brothers went into it last night for our class lesson, and just thinking about certain points that he made, you know, it was still in my spirit. So kind of like a lamb back. So with that being said, I pray that this will be edifying unto the Lord's elect. So this is Revelations chapter 6 and verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. So remember, the Apostle John the Revelator, is, you know, having visions. He's seeing these things take place, so he sees a pale horse, and it said that horse represented death. And, you know, just looking at the scriptures, how Aaron compared how Miriam looked whenever the Lord cursed her with leprosy. You know, that made me think about that. Let me read that real quick. Just going into how, you know, being pale shows something that's lifeless or losing life. So this is Numbers chapter 12, and I'm going to get right to the point. In 10, Numbers 12 and 10, it says, And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And that just shows you, you know, just to make a point, how they try to push, you know, being dark-skinned is a curse. You know, actually being pale or leprous, or having, you know, pale colored skin, that's a curse. You know, that's leprosy, not the other way around. So verse 11, it says, And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Verse 12 is the point. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb, going into the color of the flesh, looking like a newborn child. How he says, let her not be as one dead, you know, something lifeless, you know, turns pale, you know, and comparing it to how a newborn child looks coming out of the mother's womb. They really don't have color like that. So this is, you know, something that the Apostle John saw, you know, in his vision. So going back to Revelations chapter 6, in verse 8, it says, And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, you know, going into the color of it. It says, And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And hell followed with him. So that's what that horse represents, death. You know, and it said, And hell followed with him. Hell meaning the grave. You know, that's another symbolization of death. You know, the grave. You know, so going into the second part of this verse, this is what I want to focus on. So with that being said, this is where that death and hell is going to come. How it said death and hell followed him. This is where it's coming. It says, And power was given unto them, death and hell, over the fourth part of the earth, over the fourth part of the earth. And I'm going to stop there. Now, you could Google search that. You know, what is the fourth part of the earth, or what is the fourth part of the world? It's going to lead you into the direction of showing you that it's talking about America. And I have something that I'm gonna try to put in the comments section, you know, an article that brings that up, you know, Lord willing. But yeah, you could just Google search that, and it's gonna pinpoint you to the fourth part of the earth being America, because the first three parts, you know, consist of Asia, Africa, and Europe. That the known world at the time, you know, in the ancient world, you know, but now the fourth part would consist of the Americas, but primarily speaking about North America. You know, North America is what this is talking about. So let me keep reading. It says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. So that's what's coming to America. Again, to kill with sword. And you could already see, you know, how that's amplifying, you know, the gunfight. You know, everybody is strapped. A lot of people are strapped up these days. But also too, looking at the situation that's going on within America, all these migrants, they're not just coming into, you know, America for no reason. You know, these laws being passed for them to have firearms. You know, it's gonna lead into damn near like you know, a war here in America. That's exactly what it's gonna be. You know, war on the soil of America, and many people are gonna die from that. So it says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword. A lot of people are gonna die. A lot of people are gonna suffer from what I just read in this prophecy here in America. And it's throughout the scriptures, and we'll get a few precepts. So next it says, and with hunger, famine is coming. You know, whether it be the fact of, you know, the food that you eat will not sustain you, you know, and you're just gonna continue to just, you know, wax worse and worse, because the food that we eat has no, you know, real nutrients. You know, it's not really healthy for us. Our bread is defiled. You know, it's by the grace of the Lord that we're not dead, you know, from eating all these chemicals and poisons and toxins. But according to prophecy, famine is coming. You know, whether, you know, how it's going to be really controlled, because the earth produces enough for everybody to live off of. But this famine is going to be controlled and going down to the point, you know, all the way into the MOTB. You know, whoever takes that mark will be able to buy or sell, but those that don't, they won't be able to, according to the prophecy. But all of these things are, you know, turning to the point of what's coming to the fourth part of the earth, which is America. So it said, and with hunger, so a famine is coming, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. The beasts of the earth also. The Lord is going to put the spirit in these animals, you know, to get to work, to bring forth the judgments coming. So let me just get a few precepts on a few descriptions that it mentioned. You know, the sword, hunger, death, and the teeth of wild beasts, or the teeth of beasts. So, or with the beasts of the earth, as it said. But let me get this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 in verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Listen, some of the same things that it mentioned in Revelations, the 6th chapter, you know, in the 8th verse. Now, matter of fact, let me read up, because this is the judgments that are coming on the world, you know. But see, there's a balance to it, because at the same time, while people are going to be getting judged, you're going to have the men of the Lord and the women and the children who the Lord are going to have mercy on, being spared from these things. So let me start up 2nd Ezra chapter 15 in verse 3. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You know, a lot of people don't believe that this is going to happen. You know, ultimately, a lot of people put off the truth, you know, when all we're doing is just, you know, telling the people what to look out for before it comes, giving people fair warning, as the Lord, you know, told us to do. So with that being said, you know, an incredulity meaning their unbelief. So don't let their unbelief trouble us, because we're telling the truth. Verse 4, it says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Now, how are the unfaithful going to be being put to death? And this is just reading the Bible. This is in the scriptures. This is not my words. So how are the unfaithful going to be put down? Verse 5, it says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. They're going to get hit with plagues. And what are some of these characteristics? It says the sword, which was mentioned in Revelations, the 6th chapter, famine, death, and destruction. These things are coming to the earth. These things are coming to America. That's the focus. These things are coming, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to be slack, man. When it starts, it's going to be like the flood. It ain't no holding up. Whenever the flood came, it washed everything out the way. That's how these plagues are going to come. You know, and a lot of people are going to be caught by surprise because they haven't been getting ready. They haven't turned to the Lord and built up a relationship. You know, ultimately, the Lord hasn't called them into this thing, you know, to build you up so you can have faith and have the understanding and the knowledge and the wisdom to know how to endure in these last days. So continuing on, verse 6, 2 Ezra 15:6, it says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That's why the Lord is going to judge this world like he is, you know, righteously so. The wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth. And primarily, that wickedness spread forth and, you know, spread through all these other nations and regions of the earth, you know, primarily coming out of America. You know how it said Babylon was like a golden cup? Everybody got drunk off the fornication from this place. That's why the Lord is going to deal with this place different. Let me see. 2 Ezra chapter 16. And I'm going to read verse 1. It says, woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. And just thinking about Babylon and Egypt, those are names, you know, those are names that are interchangeable, you know, with America. You know, spiritually Babylon, spiritually Egypt. But it says, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So telling you, judgment is about to come. And as it mentioned, bewail your children, thinking about how it mentioned Egypt. What happened in Egypt? You know, the Passover, right? And how did the Lord deal with those Egyptians? You know, in ancient Egypt, let me read it real quick. Man, it just shows you how much judgment is coming to modern Egypt too. Let me see if I can find that. Exodus 12 in verse 30, something that happened in ancient Egypt. Exodus 12 and 30, it says, and Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt. Why so? For there was not a house where there was not one dead. The Lord deleted a lot of Egyptians that night. A lot of children, a lot of little ones, even the old ones who were the firstborn got put down. That's why, you know, mentioning in 2 Ezra, the 16th chapter, it says, woe be unto thee, Babylon, another name for America. And Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt, another code name for America. In Syria, gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So it's about to be a time for mourning. It's about to be a time of mourning. All the laughter and the fun and the everyday living is about to come to an end. The Lord is about to make his return and visit this place which he created by sending his son back, Yahweh Shai, who this world crosses out and crucifies, according to Revelations 11 chapter. You know, they put off the true image and the nature of the true Son of God, Yahweh Shai, and this is what is about to take place on the earth before he makes his return. So it says, verse 3, 2 Ezra 16:3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? And we just read how that sword represents, you know, death. You know, war talk. But ultimately, it's going to lead unto this place getting hit with ICBM missiles. I'm going to just jump around. Verse 5, plagues are sent upon you, and what is he that may drive them away? There's no stopping it. It's coming. Let me jump all the way to verse 37, and I'm about to wrap up. 2 Ezra 16:37, it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. They're coming. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So comparing how the judgments are about to take place on the earth and these plagues are about to come, they draw nigh, is compared to a woman about to bring forth a child, going into the 9th month of her pregnancy. Whenever the labor pains, the contractions are from 2 to 3 hours, and you know, it's about that time to deliver the child, how things amplify and increase. You know, the pains grow, it intensifies, then before you know it, the baby comes out. But before the baby is born, the heat is turned up. That's how it's gonna be upon the face of the earth. So it says, verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So hey, it's coming. And focusing on the 4th part of the earth, as it mentioned in Revelations chapter 6 and verse 8, it's talking about America. And these are just some things that are going to take place very soon, Lord willing, man. And mind you, let me read Revelation 6 and 8 again. And I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed behind him, or in hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with beasts of the earth. So with hunger, famine is coming too. And what does it say? Let me read this. Lamentations chapter 4 and 9. You know, these people are so spoiled and in a proud mind, like, you know, the food they eat is just given. They don't understand that, bro, one, it's a blessing to eat. That's why, you know, we ought to thank the Lord every day, you know, for our daily bread, the food that we eat, you know, or the resources that we have to get the food that we eat, and pray over the food. But these people don't go, you know, they don't take time without eating. These people are just so set on, you know, eat. You know, that's why this place is gonna get hit so hard whenever the Lord comes through with that famine. This is second Ezra. This is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So it says it's better to go out by way, you know, of the sword, you know, to suffer a death by, you know, getting shot down or gunned down or stabbed, rather than to die from hunger. It tells you pine away, your body deteriorates from the inside out. It starts to eat itself up. And that's a painful way to go. Your organs start shutting down. Your mind starts, you know, withering. That's a horrible judgment. But that's coming to this place. Then it says, and with death and with beasts of the earth. In a precept just to get the beasts of the earth, how the Lord is going to put the spirit in these animals to get vicious on these people, man. You know, all these people with these pets that don't take care of them, that abuse them, and or just these wicked niggas with pets. Watch how the Lord is going to put the spirit in these animals, you know, to get on and pop it, man. And it goes into the times like never before, according to Jeremiah 30:7. So we're going to be seeing some things take place that we ain't never seen before, man. But this is the warning. This is coming to the fourth part of the earth, aka America. But real quick, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 39, and I'm gonna start at verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So these spirits created for vengeance are going to be used, right, for correction and judgment that's going to come, you know, as we read in 2nd Esdras chapter 15 in verse 5. I will say, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So hey, this is another way that some of that death and destruction is going to come. So again, or reading on Ecclesiasticus 39 in verse 29 now, it says, so continuing on, fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Continuing on, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. So that's what's coming, you know. Just to get a few precepts, just to land back off of the brother Shemaiah's lesson that he taught last night. Just, you know, certain things was still in my spirit, how it's coming to America, which is the fourth part of the earth. You know, according to the scriptures, you know, many people that are going to be put down with a sword, you know, gun violence, that war violence, you know, hunger, famine is coming. The death rates are going to skyrocket, and even you're going to see a change in the animals. You know, the Lord is going to put the spirit in these animals to get vicious, to get active. But the beauty of it is that doesn't apply to everybody else. I mean, that doesn't apply to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, man. You know, that's why, you know, we fear the Lord and we pray for his mercy, because it tells you in Isaiah how, you know, they're gonna, let me just read it, just a few precepts for comfort, because that's what I just read in Revelation 6. That's inevitable. That's prophecy that has not been fulfilled yet. So that's coming. But the beauty of it is the mercy of the Lord is still going to be with those that seek him, you know, that seek him now in truth and sincerity. Let me read this real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. It says, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And the Lord's servants aren't going to be taking part of the famine, the, you know, pestilence, and all of these, you know, atrocious things. The Lord is going to deal with balance. You know, that's the faith that we have coming into these times. You know, where the Lord is going to show divine intervention in protection for those that serve and seek him now. You know, the Lord isn't going to just cut you off and kick you out whenever these things pop up. This is an indicator for the Lord wasn't playing around whenever he had the prophets out giving the warning. And we pray that the Lord has mercy, and that's where our faith lies, that he's going to have mercy upon us. While everybody else was unfaithful and living wickedly, they're going to reap what they sowed. You know, so I'll end it there. I pray this was edifying to the Lord's elect. Again, I want to give our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule. Shalom.